welcome back. You are listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. So my next guest, Angel Ribo, is known as the CEO Confidant. He is an influencer, a LinkedIn strategist, an international TV host, public speaker, CEO consultant, board member, and philanthropist. And most importantly, over the past 21 years, he's empowered more than 1,500 CEOs in 33 different countries. So lots there. Angel Ribo, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Shalom. And obviously, thank you everybody who's listening to us today.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's exciting. You help so many business owners, and you have, you actually are, I believe you were born near Barcelona.
Correct.
And so one of the things that I know you have a lot of conversations with business owners is understanding cultural differences and helping people be successful in growth. So Angel, how did you discover that yourself?
That's a great question. Well, I will have to say that thanks to mom and dad that they put me through, French language, lessons and English language lessons. I started an international career in the 90s. And I started to do that. I started to basically reach out to companies without, knowing almost anything about them. And it started to call high, what is called in the sales, environment, right? So I started to call C-level executives to actually my first job ever in sales was to provide appointments to my field reps. So suddenly I saw myself, thanks to my language skills, that I was assigned different territories and larger territories and larger territories. I started even to call to territories that I didn't speak the languages. But the reality is that as soon as you start getting in touch with people from different cultures and countries and geographies, you actually develop a skill, which is being flexible enough to be able to communicate with them, even though the language could be an issue. So that's how I got into that. And, the rest is history. I moved from Europe. I extensively worked in Europe, many countries, and then I moved to Latin America, did the same thing. And then 10 years ago, I actually moved here to Plano in Texas.
So, Angel, I have to ask, in one of my first questions in our conversation is, we're having this conversation in the early part of 2021 where travel is still somewhat restricted. You strike me as the type of guy that loves to travel and loves to make connections happen. How has this past year been for you, and what are your plans for the next year?
Exactly. You are bang on, Shalom. It was tough because I'm used to be traveling all the time. I used to obviously also, do field work myself. I have had to change, as anybody else. I have had to change and actually use extensively, much more than ever before, my network of connections. Working in 33 countries with so many companies for so many years allow me to develop my own network of connections, of business partners, of friends, of clients. And I have been using it extensively so I don't have to travel myself personally. And also it has not only affected my consulting business, the CEO Confidant business, but also my nonprofit. As you know, I have a nonprofit. It's called Wisdom for Kids. I co-founded it a few years ago. And what we do is we help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using the local resources. And that has been an issue. I talk to the volunteers in the field almost every day. And I have to tell you, it's been really tough because most of the volunteers haven't seen the kids literally within a year. They have not seen the kids that we have been helping on their entrepreneurial, journey. So it has been tough. It really has been tough, to your question, Shalom.
Yeah, I understand. And so, Angel, you have become an expert not only in growth of your business, but more importantly, the growth that you've helped other businesses achieve in developing partnerships, exactly. Growth internationally. Exactly. So I don't want you to share all of your secrets, but what are some of the things that business owners can implement if they want to start to do business in other countries and other cultures, and not just focus on the here and now? We are in a global marketplace these days.
Exactly. So let's put it this way. Every season, as you said before, it's March 2021. Most of the people only see adversity, but actually I see opportunity. And what has been happening that people has been getting, more and more used to doing business online is actually a big blessing. So I have consistently used going global and going international as a way to grow, to accelerate the growth of business owners and CEOs, right? As you very well said. So number one, now it's much easier. Let's say the barriers of entry to any international market are much lower. So right now, going to other markets and use the same services and same products, obviously you have to customize them in some way, up to a point. But doing that has never been easier because of the changes in the habits of the people that right now are actually consuming both those products and those services. Okay, so you are able to actually use what you have already developed, which has been so hard for you to develop for so many years. It's much easier now to deploy and to deliver those services and products to those places. That's number one. Number two, also, everybody thinks, maybe I'm providing a service, let's say, and in order to be able to deliver that service to that place, I just have to translate it. I just have to make this. I have to look for local partners that will be able to deliver my service using my IP. Maybe I can license my products and my services. That is true, but obviously there is still a science in doing that. So what I'm trying to say is the revenue opportunity has never been larger than what it is today. The only caveat is that you have to be able to identify those cultural differences that will allow you to do that. And again, the adversity has actually become an opportunity because everybody right now is more open to explore opportunities of products and services coming from abroad. That's why actually it's been a blessing. I have not been able to travel as much, but it's been a blessing because I have seen that the habits of the people that are going to buy your products or services in general, they have changed in a positive way. That's why I consistently, I consistently say and identify and remind business owners and CEOs that it's never been a better way or a better time in history to actually go international and grow your business.
I'm chatting with Angel Ribo, the CEO confidant, and we've been talking about international success. We've been talking about, obviously, I'm with you, Angel, missing travel very, very much. But you call yourself the CEO confidant, and I know that you have a massive, massive presence and a lot of people that seek your guidance. So tell us about some of the success stories. Tell us about, especially even over the past year, in embracing Zoom and embracing some of the technologies that's available. Tell us about some of the businesses that you've been able to help make a difference in their bottom line.
I think that the most important story I can make is the large amount of small business owners, because large companies typically have these contingency plans, right? So, and I really, really value the risk and the courage that small business owners and startup CEOs they have when things like this happen in the world. And I have been focusing a lot on companies on how to help them pivot, how to allow them to see services and products that they didn't see before. Okay, and that has been the most important focus of myself because I have seen that people were nervous. Why were they nervous? Because they saw, again, that the habits of the market, that the consumers had changed, and they didn't know, and they couldn't keep on offering those services and those products. So I can tell you many different stories, but maybe one of the stories was someone that was working in the diversity and inclusion space that was using a specific way to go to the market. It's actually a small services company, and through analyzing how the sentiment, how the feelings of the market had changed, how the needs of the market were changing, we were able to actually completely change the positioning of that company, completely put ourselves in the brain, in the mind of the consumers, and actually adapt. Because, hey, don't forget, please make sure everybody listening to us today, don't forget that the people are in a different place from a mindset perspective from where they were 12 months ago. So it's very important that you change your positioning and you change when you describe the transformation path that you provide to your clients, that you describe it properly. And the results are going to be the same, but the transformation path is going to be different because you're actually meeting your future clients in a different place. That's extremely important. And that's what I have been doing for the last 12 months, Shalom.
I absolutely love it. And Angel, you have, as we said, quite the presence. So I know a lot of places that people can find you and learn more about your services, but also very importantly, your philanthropy and your nonprofit work. So Angel, can you tell our listeners where they can learn more about how they can get involved and hopefully get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Very easy. I'm very active online. I post every single day. I share a lot of, professional and personal stories online every single day. My last name is Ribo, R-I-B as in boy, O. And I say that because I'm going to give you my email address. I answered all the emails you can send to me. Again, it's angel@angelribo.com. You go to LinkedIn. Again, I'm very active on the messaging system there, so you can reach out to me anytime. And to get involved in Wisdom for Kids, which is the name of our foundation, it's very easy. You go to wisdomforkids.today, wisdomforkids.today, and you will be able to, either sign up as a volunteer or become a donor.
Fantastic. Angel Ribo, you are a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us on Get Down to Business. We're going to squeeze in a quick break, have some headlines, and we'll be back. More small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and Get Down to Business when we return.